যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে। যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে। যদি কেউ কথা না কয় ওরে ওরে ও অভাগা, কেউ কথা না কয়, যদি সবাই থাকে মুখ ফিরায়ে সবাই করে ভয়, যদি সবাই থাকে মুখ ফিরায়ে সবাই করে ভয়, তবে পরাণ খুলে ও তুই মুখ ফুটে তোর মনের কথা একলা বলো রে। তবে পরাণ খুলে ও তুই মুখ ফুটে তোর মনের কথা একলা বলো রে। যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে।
आप सभी का स्वागत है आपके मनपसंद कार्यक्रम पपीहा से एकला चलो रे में, और आपकी मेजबान पपीहा नंदी का आदाब और नमस्कार कबूल कीजिए। आज के एकला चलो रे प्रोग्राम के एपिसोड में हम जिस मुद्दे पर बात करना चाहेंगे वो है मेंटल हेल्थ ऑफ वुमेन, या फिर कहें कि शादी के बाद एक औरत को अपने परिवार के परवरिश के लिए खुद का मानसिक संतुलन बनाए रखना कितना ज़रूरी है। चलिए इस बात पर गौर फरमाते हैं। अपने लड़कपन के दिनों में ख्वाबों की दुनिया से निकलकर जब एक औरत हकीकत की दुनिया में लौटती है तब वो कैसे अपने नई हकीकत और हालातों का तालमेल बनाने की कोशिश करती है। चलिए इस मुद्दे पर हम बात करते हैं हमारे गेस्ट स्पीकर से। फ्रेंड्स, आई एम ग्रेटफुल फॉर योर लव, outpouring support and appreciation, and also a big thank you goes to our sponsors who make it possible for us to present this program. I would like to invite you to come and be a guest speaker for our next upcoming shows and share your experiences with our viewers. Let me know on what topic you would like to talk about, which is dear to your heart, and you would like to bring the change which will help the community as well as can bring a change in this world. To know how you can be a guest speaker in our show, please visit www.papiha.com, fill out the form and send it to us. Friends, now our lines are open, and if you would like to participate in our next TV series and want to know about the next topic, then please give me a call right now at 510-593-7151 or send an email to papiha@papiha.com. दोस्तों, आप देख रहे हैं पपीहा के साथ प्रोग्राम एकला चलो रे। पैगाम ये है कि हिम्मत ना हार, अकेले ही आगे बढ़ता जा रे। क्या हुआ जो अब अंधेरा है, कल का सूरज तेरे लिए जरूर उभरेगा। इत्मीनान से आगे बढ़, क्योंकि तेरे सामने ये आसमां भी झुकेगा। मुंह न मोड़, हिम्मत ना हार, फिक्र तेरी भी करता है रब। क्या हुआ जो तू मझधार में है, वो आएगा तेरे पास, तू पुकारेगा जब। Attitude is altitude is an often repeated phrase which is timeless and ageless and will be in vogue until civilization exists. However, can a change in attitude solve all problems, or is it just a temporary band-aid solution or a false consolation for covering up the real thing? When we gathered and brainstormed over the unique viewpoints of our speakers, the running theme was that a change in attitude does tend to ease out the way we look at our problems. Secondly, the enormity of the problem considerably shrinks when we look at our problems from a relative paradigm. We tend to make more sense out of it and look at it more rationally rather than lacing it with all the emotions in the world. By looking at the situation from someone else's point, it always makes it better. This approach clearly resonates with our speaker Sathi Chaudhary, who is a working woman, wife, daughter and mom, and does a wonderful job juggling each role. Let's watch what Sathi has to say and how she keeps herself sane.
Namaste, viewers. Thank you, Papiha for having me here and giving me the opportunity to talk about such a nice issue which we don't talk about our emotional well-being that often in any parties or in any gatherings.
So I will start and ask you one question. That is, I do know you're a professional person, and you're also a mom as well as a wife. So everything combined together. Please tell me, how do you manage?
Uh, Having all these roles were a little bit related to my ambition of being able to do things that would give me the satisfaction of being sort of in a kind of like a superwoman.
Yes.
I believed that I can do lots, and I one by one I took responsibilities that no one asked me to. So yeah, I mean, being a professional, of course, is like 70% of my day, and being a mom is a beautiful thing, but it's a lot of work. And being a wife, it is a very giving role, I think, in our society. It is always looking at my husband's face, that whether he is happy, how can I make him more happy, how can I have more meaningful conversations with him so that our relationship blooms.
Yes.
So all of these, I took it, and then it was the practical side of it was really lot of work from morning to night. I was constantly doing things that would make my life better, and at the same time was getting tired.
Yes.
Initial years when my health was all good, I was just out of college, I was only 26 years old, it was all good because I was healthy. Slowly, this habit of overwork, I was kind of doing bad health-wise, and
So it affected your health.
it affected my health.
Because you're ambitious and you have too much on your plate.
Exactly.
You are not only a wife who wants to keep her husband happy. So I want to ask you on that. Do you think you can talk to him, or do you see in your home where he also thinks that he has to keep you happy?
For me, what happened is that he was very relaxed. He didn't make any extra effort to keep me happy, and at least I was not seeing that. It was me constantly trying to make
him happy.
Make him happy.
So do you think in our life as a woman, as an Indian woman, are we always trying to make our husbands happy at the cost of our happiness? What do you say?
I think, yeah, we do try, but then, sometimes also I think out of those situations we have a conflict, because trying to make another person happy doesn't necessarily make you happy all the time. And when this carries on for a long time and you see that, well, I'm not being happy in that process, I think it is there when the conflict starts and arguments happen and things like that. So I think a marriage to me is a discovery for both the people.
So, I actually had the fear of failing in professional side. If I work less, I thought, oh, I'm not going to shine. I'm not going to shine at the workplace. So I wanted to be completely competitive with my male colleagues, right? And back home, I felt like I have a second job. I have to cook food and I have to take care of my daughter.
Each day, every day, three
Each
times
day.
a day.
And it seemed really like a struggle, and literally it was my struggle. I cannot explain enough that why, these are the normal things that a girl do. Why I started kind of feeling drained out of it. I think the main reason was that I was not getting the emotional nutrition from my dear ones. My daughter was small, but I was expecting a lot from my husband, and I kept quiet, but I was creating a void in myself that if I asked him for a certain things, I asked him in a way that was clear, but why was he not doing it for me? So it was like I'm knocking on the wall and not getting a response back. So somehow I felt that my life is becoming boring and it's not interesting anymore. It's like I'm just giving.
You're struggling too much.
I'm struggling too much, and then I tried to, as I was telling you, that I always tried to make things happier and funnier and all of that. But I was thinking that my energy is dropping.
You are working, you are a mother, so you're taking care of your child, you're taking care of your home, because that is also a very big responsibility. You have to clean up your home, you have to make sure, you have to cook for your family, then taking care of the children, that's another responsibility. Now here you're also taking care of your husband, but as he is your partner, he is an adult, and you can have expectations from him because you also are fulfilling his expectations.
Right.
So in your words, can you tell me what you wanted your husband to understand? Number one, tell me what he was not doing, and then what you wanted him to do for you. How simple it is. So can you tell me what he was not doing for you?
So he is a very simple guy, and he loves newspapers, news, and all the practical things, stock market, all the things that guys love talking about. Whenever I sat with him and I said, let's not talk about any of the things usually talk. Let's say something personal. Let's talk about you and me only. And let's talk about our future plan. Or let's talk about something that will excite me and make me feel good. I was like putting my expectations more importantly, like in front of me. And
You were giving more priority to your expectations.
Exactly.
Okay.
So then 1 or 2 days he was fine, and he said, "Come on, what do you mean by personal things? What are you really looking for?" And I was looking for that, extra spice of romance and extra care and love.
The consideration and thoughtfulness.
Yeah.
See, we're talking about the emotional health of you as in your multiple role, right? So now, of course, you are the wife and you have all these expectations, which he's not doing. So how clearly did you tell him, these are the things which I want from him, and will you please make sure that I'm going through a lot of hard time, will you please help me? Were you able to say that? Were you able to make him understand what you want to say?
Yeah, I'm very verbal about things that I expect, and I tell him that if you make me happy, I would be making this house happy. I was communicating to him clearly, and we actually never had stopped talking to each other. I never let a wall come. However disappointed I was with him, I always kept my communication on with him. So these small things, started, making
Building up.
big,
Issue in your
like
mind.
kind of a emptiness in my mind, and I wanted to feel special. And it was the day by day that I was becoming ordinary, and I was becoming without a spark that I was looking for. So that was the issue, and I started telling him that please make sure you do something for me.
Okay.
Even though
today, you're present, how do you maintain your emotional balance? How do you keep it? What do you do? What have you done? What you learned from your experiences, and then what did you say to yourself to be calm and peaceful and accept your situation and say it in a manner which makes a difference and the person changes for the girl? So what did you do?
I think the first and foremost thing I did was reduce my expectations and try to. I actually thought that if my emotions are putting me in a miserable situation which I created, it is my perception, then why not I try just the opposite? I tried, dominating my emotions.
Dominating means controlling your emotions.
Controlling my
So you
emotions.
lowered your expectations and started controlling your emotions.
Yeah.
It's like instead of expecting, why don't I change myself so that it really doesn't affect me so much?
Yeah.
That's really nice, very thoughtful.
So I tried to change my thought process, and I accepted all. So we are talking about multiple roles. Sometimes we are just thinking too much that I have to do this. Oh, I have to go to work. Oh, I have this much code to write. I was thinking about all of these as blessings. I said, oh, I have a job. In the morning I get up and I get my daughters ready. Today is my day and I'm going to go to office, do my best, come back home. And then I thought, oh, cooking. I'll skip cooking today.
Okay.
Rather, I would enjoy my time with my husband and my daughter. And I communicated all these things to my husband. I say, hey, I have some limitations. Can we work on it? I think I know exactly where I get drained and start acting cranky. So we really, and he helped me because I started talking logical and I was not blaming him anymore, right?
Yes.
For my pain, I was not holding him responsible anymore.
I'm so happy, Shati, that there was a time in your life which came to you where you were able to understand and know yourself or identify what is really wrong. The thing is, when we are into a new relationship, a new home, and we are growing up, everything takes time to understand. And to change something, as they said, first we have to change ourselves. So I see very beautifully you brought that transition in your life and things are working so good for you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Shati.
Thank you, Papiha.
शादी भारतीय सभ्यता में एक इस प्रकार का बंधन है जिसमें लड़की ना सिर्फ अपने पति से सामाजिक रूप से बनती है बल्कि वो पति और पति के पूरे परिवार से बन जाती है। उसे इस रिश्ते को पूरी बखूबी से निभाने की उम्मीद की जाती है, वरना उसे एक अच्छी बहू के नजरिए से समाज नहीं देखता। इस जिम्मेदारी का भार वो कैसे संभालने की कोशिश करती है, चलिए सुनते हैं। एक तो नई जगह और नए लोग, ऊपर से उनके बताए हुए नियमों को पालना और उनके बताए गए अनुशासन की इज्जत करना, ये एक बहुत बड़ी जिम्मेदारी होती है। इन सब के अलावा अगर घर की बहू कामकाजी हो और नौकरी भी करती है तब तो उसकी जिम्मेदारियां और भी बढ़ जाती है। ऐसे समय में एक औरत का मानसिक संतुलन कभी भी बिखर सकता है। संतुलन बिगड़ने का असर न केवल उसके ऊपर बल्कि उसके पूरे परिवार पर भी पड़ता है और ऐसा भी हो सकता है कि तालमेल ना रखने पर जो परिस्थिति उठ खड़ी हो वो अच्छा ही हो।
I'm Jasmine Vasa and I am a consultant and help companies with their marketing strategies and development.
अच्छा, ठीक है। तो आज का जो टॉपिक है इसके ऊपर आप क्या रोशनी डाल सकती हैं, बताइए।
Sure. So I think a woman is a lifeline or the backbone of a family.
जी।
As a mom and or as a wife, I think the wife is expected for the smooth functioning of the household. So the day-to-day operations or whatever the running of the household, that is kind of expected as just as a general culture of the Indian family.
जी।
So as a mother also, I think with our tradition, it is that the mom plays the bigger role in raising the family. Of course, the dad is absolutely important and plays a very critical role. But I think the day-to-day upbringing, the responsibilities of dropping to school, packing lunch, or doing their homework, I think those come
lies on a mom,
as
right?
a mom.
और ऊपर से आप काम भी करती हैं, तो अब ये बताइए कि हाउ डू बैलेंस एवरीथिंग। वाइफ तो हो गए, ठीक है, आपने बहुत अच्छा, यू डिड एवरीथिंग प्रीटी वेल। एज ए मॉम, nobody can outdo us. We are so good in everything. As a mother, especially when it comes to being a mom, we are so perfect. Then of course when you go to work, how is it, I think your profession, as you're into marketing, is there a lot of responsibility on you? Is it a high stress job for you?
It is. So I started this. I'm a founder of my own company, and as that, it is a lot of responsibility because it's my baby. I have to grow it, and I started it just a few months ago. So I'm in the stage of developing and growing my business. So I do have a lot of responsibility. With that, I do also get some flexibility. Even if you're an entrepreneur, as an entrepreneur, you have much more responsibilities because you are trying to achieve, you're trying to grow, you're networking, and I think you're working 24/7 versus doing a 9 to 5 or a 8 to 5 job.
But when you're an entrepreneur, every day you have to inspire
Set your own
yourself.
goals.
You have to be the inspiration for yourself to go where you want. There's no one who's going to come and tell you. So after accomplishing everything, when it comes to you and your emotional health, at the end of the day or sometime where you have this realization that okay fine, I'm doing everything, but somewhere I just cannot do, I'm failing. That moment, have you ever felt that?
Sometimes, yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Because you see, you're not just a common person who is sitting, who is constantly working, and your brain is working. So thing is, naturally there's one time you are just exhausted, you're tired. At that moment, what do you go through? I want to know that from you.
Yeah, so definitely there are days, in the week or in a few days in a month where you do go through those emotions where you feel drained out because of all, fulfilling all the other responsibilities. And I've seen that those are the moments when either I'm upset or sad or go through a lot of these negative emotions of not feeling good about myself or not feeling happy or satisfied. So a few things that I've learned from some of those moments when I'm drained, when and I think the main thing that I've noticed is when I'm not happy, when I'm not satisfied, it reflects on my family.
Completely understand that there is you the person also you have to do for yourself.
Right.
But the thing is, your whole day is gone just doing for other people.
Right. So I think I have learned by looking at not doing things for myself and how it affects me and my family. I've learned that I need to take time for myself.
Okay.
And going for a run in the morning for even 30 minutes helps me clear my mind. I'm not doing it for anybody else.
Yes.
But I'm doing it for myself.
So you mean exercise helps you early in the morning, just being alone, just by being yourself, where you can talk just to yourself to start your day. Does it give you more focus, more energy?
Absolutely.
What have you learned from your experience? The things which you have stopped doing it.
The things that I've stopped doing so that it makes me more happier.
Yes.
I've learned to get more help. So get help as in I don't have
Help from?
outside help. So if I get outside help to clean the house, to do some of the chores that I don't like to do, so that I don't feel that pulled, I don't feel that stretched, and I can do things for myself and for my family, which makes us all happier. Because I feel that if sometimes we women put more pressure on ourselves than we really need to, and we don't seek that outside help to balance our lives.
Even if you have outside help, let's put it, there's so many things which are expected just from you. Because see, your children are not expecting you to go and clean the house, right? Or clean the bathroom.
Yeah.
Now, fine, you have seeked outside help, but here you have your husband too, whom you are taking care. So, are there any changes which you have done in your life where, as you're still married, so I'm asking you this, where you have told him no? Have you started saying no, I can't do that, but maybe you can do this and help me out?
Yes, absolutely.
Have you started doing that?
Yeah. So I think me and my husband, we especially when I started my own company, I knew that it has more demands for myself. I have to work weekends, work, at night. And so we did have that conversation when I told him I cannot do certain things. And we discussed what things he can do, how he can help me, and how I can help him. Because I feel in a relationship, both has to work together.
Okay.
I can't just expect things from him, and he can't just expect things from me. It does take time to change. It takes a lot of effort on my part and on his part. I'm not saying that it is very easy and it happens magically the next morning. But it's a process, it's a journey that we have to go through together. And then when we see the positive effects of that happening, I think we both realize that,
We are doing something
we
good.
are doing something right, and to raise a good family. Because if the parents are not happy, it reflects on your children.
Thank you very much, Jasmine.
Thank you.
दोस्तों, आप देख रहे हैं पपीहा से एकला चलो रे, और आज का टॉपिक है मेंटल हेल्थ, द बैलेंसिंग एक्ट। आपकी हौसला अफजाई, मोहब्बत, सराखों पर आप लोगों का बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया फॉर सपोर्टिंग मी। योर encouragement gives me an amazing strength, and I know that in my journey of Papiha से एकला चलो रे, I will do exceptionally well. लीजिए, वक्त आया एक छोटे से ब्रेक का, और हमारे स्पॉन्सर्स आप तक क्या पैगाम पहुंचाना चाहते हैं, चलिए देखते हैं। Please don't go anywhere, as we have so much more to tell you about Papiha se Ekla Cholo re. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back after these messages. Friends, as you know that today our topic is mental health, the balancing act. Friends, I would like to invite you to be a part of our TV show. You can be part of Ekla Cholo re by sharing your unique story of challenges and adversities and how you overcame it. Tell us and share with us the uniqueness, how you handled your adversities and came out of it. We are here to share your story so that we can connect, encourage, motivate and empower others through this televised program. Just a friendly reminder that don't forget to support my sponsors, जिनके जानिब से हम ये प्रोग्राम आप तक लाते हैं. And if you're organizing any event or would like to announce regarding your services in our show, then please contact me at 510-593-7151 or send an email to papiha@papiha.com. In this episode of Papiha se Ekla Cholo re, we are delving deep into the mental challenges that a married Indian woman encounters in her life. Also, we are talking about the importance of healthy mental attitude to face challenges that a typical Indian milieu throws at a woman. It is true that sometimes all it takes is an inward thinking at our own thought processes and try to weigh in our own expectations out of life and people in general. It is sometimes more important to manage our own expectations rather than let life take its own course. A homemaker right after marriage can feel stuck. It is a dilemma of sorts in their own minds as to what should be their priority. They concentrate on playing a socially idealistic role rather than doing things that will give them happiness. This is precisely what happened with Sauravi Mazumdar, who magically got back her self-esteem and felt more complete and happy once she started working. Sometimes marriage can mean a major change in status quo for women who idolize the role of happiness to their family and especially to their children.
I'm Sauravi Mazumdar, and I'm currently working. So I'm working in a top recruiting firm here, and I'm a resource manager there. And thank you, Papiha Devi, for having me here on this show.
You're most welcome, Sauravi. Sauravi, I know that you're a working woman as well as juggling all responsibilities. Can you tell me how it is each day for you?
So right now, each day is better than what it used to be, because I have actually gone through a very big conflict within myself, a conflict about my internal desires and the roles that I played and the responsibilities that were attached with it. And there was a point when it had turned really ugly, and I was emotionally very unhappy all the time. So I'll just take you a little back to my life. So what happened was my dad passed away quite early when I was doing my graduation. And after that, after completing my studies, doing my master's, somehow my mom felt that she had a big responsibility on her to get me married. But I had been a person who had all along wanted to carve out a career for myself. I would always imagine myself in that corporate place, in that high flying role, and
So
things like
proud
that.
of you.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, my sister also tells me that Didi, I would see you signing autographs. Like, I want to be a careeristic woman, and she said I never understood that what it meant at that time. So that was my dream all along. But somehow, as things happened, was after completing my studies, my mom found a good match for me, and she thought it was best on my part to settle down as well. So I also went ahead with that, and I got married, and I moved to Bangalore. And what I did was somehow put my desires at the back burner. I thought that okay, it's a new role that I'm going to play now, and I was very excited about it. And things somehow just went along. I had to travel to different places with my husband because that was his nature of his job. And then we moved to this country. But that desire which I had suppressed in me would occasionally surface up. And I would imagine, I wanted to do something. I wanted to do something constructive. But here today I am just merely doing my wifely duties and managing household work. So what happened to those dreams that I had? But I would then again shut it off by saying, oh, it's okay, fine. I mean, that's fine. I'm okay. I need to do my wifely duties more, or the other things, they are more important. Though doing something for myself is not that important at this point of time. And I would just suppress it. But, that's what I thought, that desires, when they are suppressed, they start turning and taking shape into a much more bigger thing.
They erupt.
Yes, exactly. They erupt. And that's what actually happened when I had my daughter here. I had again another role, a new role that was of a mom. So I was definitely
That's
very
more
happy.
challenging.
And then I was also taking care of my daughter. She was growing. But suddenly, I think because I had suppressed it for so long, when my daughter was about 3 or 4 years of age, this thought began to constantly, come in me and tell me that I'm not happy.
You start becoming very unhappy.
Yes, I want to do something. It's been a long time now, and I am just doing mere household chores and taking care of my daughter, and that's it. I'm not doing anything constructive.
And what did you study?
I studied masters in English literature.
Okay, good.
So and I was into teaching when I was in Bangalore. I did short stints of teaching there.
It really makes me feel very happy when a woman talks like that she has a desire and she wants to achieve it. She is a wife, she is a mother, okay, but she has to do something for herself.
Exactly.
So thank you so much for again reaffirming and letting us know that how important it is to do something.
Sure. And my husband said, well, I mean, if you want, you can go ahead and work. And I said that, yeah, I can, but I had taken such a big gap, and it's really difficult to get back to work when you have such a big gap in your career. And then you're in a different country and everything's alien to you. So anyways, I started applying for jobs, and then I went through a lot of frustrations because it's not easy. If you've been without job or without work for a long time, it's not that easy to get back to the working world.
Especially in America, you're coming from
Exactly.
India and then trying to work in America. Here
Exactly.
skills matter, experience matters.
Exactly.
More than the academic background.
Exactly, and you need to show some experience, some proof that you have done things before. But anyways, I think by God's blessing, I did get a job for myself. At first it was I started with somebody who had her own startup, and while working with her, I found another opportunity for myself. And today, Papiha, the scene is I'm super busy. I come back home with my shoulders aching, I have back pain, but I'm happy. I have a smile on my face. Because every morning when I go out of my house, I'm driving my car, I breathe in that fresh air and I feel a sense of achievement. I feel that, okay, here I am finally pursuing my dream. And I'm doing something for myself. I'm doing something constructive. I'm financially independent, if I might call myself that. Really, when I leave the house in the morning, I feel so happy. I feel it's my time now, my space, and I go out with a smile in my face.
Very good. Very good. You're so, whatever you have to say is so inspiring. So proud of you. Now tell me, now you're doing so many things and you're happy. So basically, your emotional health is healthy.
Exactly.
It is because you work. You are doing that for yourself.
Exactly.
And that makes you happy.
Exactly.
Wow, this is great. I'm so proud of you, really. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Papiha. And one more thing I would like to say, I have a younger sister. She's 9 years younger to me, and she's going to get married very soon. And I think as a sister, the most precious gift today I feel I can gift her is the advice to be emotionally strong. And my experiences I can share with her and tell her that the roles that she will now go on to play will definitely need a lot of strength, inner strength, and definitely emotional strength.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Keeping an emotional balance is particularly difficult if life throws at us unusual challenges like the one experienced by Savita Shenoy, including stillbirth, divorce, and cancer. How does one cope with multiple tragedies? It is generally seen that a single tragedy can make a person completely fragile. However, spirituality can be the ultimate answer to make sense out of our own problems. How did Savita pull herself through? Let's watch it.
I welcome you, Savita. Thank you so much for coming, and I'm really excited to hear from you.
I'm Savita Shenoy. I'm a single mom. I have 2 kids. My daughter is 22 and she's doing her master's, and my son is 17 and goes to college this year.
And also, you're a cancer survivor.
Yes, I am.
Right?
Yes.
It's really intriguing how you have maintained your calmness, and I see yourself to be very calm and beautiful, of course. So please tell me about your journey, that how you confronted the different roles you had in your life, along with it all the expectations, and on top of it you maintain who you are, what you are, and how you give importance to yourself.
Well, I've had many experiences. When I was married, I had a stillbirth, so I went through, had a child at 9 months.
So you went to that emotional,
The whole emotional up and down. I mean,
Yes.
so
Imbalance.
Imbalance, and then I went through a divorce, relationships breakup, and then I had cancer, and I had cancer in 2008.
Okay.
But I am still living with the effects of that because my health has not recovered. When I had the stillbirth, I had this profound, my emotions were all over, but I was told to suppress. And you're like, oh, Savita, a bad thing happened, but move on. So I had to control, put everything inside. Then
And how that made you feel?
After a while, I had a 4-year-old. My daughter was 4, so for her, I had to do that, and for the sake of the marriage and everything, so I had to just bury my emotions. Then went through the divorce, the same thing. I was burying everything. What I'm trying to say is, I think eventually the burying of everything erupted as the cancer. Because you're burying so much emotion. So I would say that's a huge. So along the way, though, what happened is I did go to a psychiatrist. They gave me,
Medications?
she gave me some, antidepressants. I couldn't do it. I am not the type of a person to depend. There's nothing wrong with medication, but I couldn't do it. I walked into my job, I gave a resignation, I moved my family to India, and I did the original Eat, Pray, Love, where I took 6 months off and put my son in boarding school, My daughter stayed with her dad here. I went to India and I just wanted to find myself.
Did you do any counseling? Fine, I understand you went to a psychiatrist.
Right.
Did you go
I did.
to a psychotherapist?
I did talk to someone, but it wasn't helping me because, you know, it wasn't me. And so when I moved to India for 6 months with my mom, I went to every Guruji, you know, just
So
finding
you
myself.
found the spiritual path
Yes,
to calm yourself
to calm
down.
myself down.
How are you able to bring peace in yourself? How were you able to conquer all those fears, all those tears, all those hurt, all those everything which has come to you in a negative manner? How did you make it positive?
The thing is, you know, when you are a single woman and you go out there, put yourself, and I had 2 kids now, suddenly, you know, so I'm not saying I was not afraid, but I couldn't show people I was afraid, you know. So there were 2 sayings that really made a very profound effect on my life, and one is that courage is not the lack of fear, it is doing something in spite of the fear. You know, so to be a courageous person, to go out there, and
So what did you do?
I never showed my kids I was scared. It's like, yeah, let's do it, you know. And we would to make ourselves on days when I didn't have money to take them out, you know, to a park, like, you know, for movies or things, whatever. We would put loud Hindi music and we would dance away all through, and they still remember that, you know. My daughter's like, we haven't danced in a while, you know. So we started finding small things that would make us happy. And suddenly what you find is, you know, when you are joyous, everyone around you is joyous and they bring into your life more joy. So
Because you are attracting that energy.
Yes.
What was the second phrase you wanted to share?
The second one is, you know, that when you go into such a dark, there is a thing, the caterpillar, what the caterpillar sees as the end of the world, the butterfly, you know, it comes out as a butterfly. So that's my thing, is that I was seeing the darkness and I'm like, this can't be the end. It has to open up somewhere. So I'm always looking for the light at the end of the tunnel.
The butterfly.
The butterfly. I am the butterfly, but it's just like, when is it going to happen? You know, and it's always like, even I have friends who are single, and they go, you know, the guy is not out there, and I'm like, he is. He's looking for me, and I'm looking for him. So we haven't found each other yet.
Yes.
It's that kind of attitude that really just opens things up, I think, you know. And
oh my God, Savita, when you talk, I can feel your pain so much in my heart. And when you're happy, I can feel it.
To look for the positive and to look, you know, for small things in life. That's what
Which makes you happy.
Makes anyone happy. You know, I tell my daughter, don't wait for big events. Those are far and few. Be happy in every small thing. You know, you be happy. So you're thirsty, someone gave you water. Be happy, you know, and that will be joyous throughout your life. The courage is not the lack of fear, but doing something in spite of fear.
Good. That's a really, really good pointer for many people. If you're looking to know what will keep you happy, and always remember this line. Thank you so much, Savita.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for inviting me here. It was a great pleasure listening to all the beautiful experiences of everyone here. I'm a life coach. I help people get more out of their lives, create balance in all areas of their lives.
Then you have a lot to say today.
Yeah.
So what do you think, how these women or people who are watching us, how they can help themselves, who are juggling with multiple roles in their life? And also we belong to a society or a community, and our culture is where lots and lots are expected just from us. Fine, we are not only bread earners, we are supporting our husbands or a family or our parents, and we are well educated, so we have a mind of our own, we have our own personality. And then when it comes to a particular, like a marriage structure, basically most of the women are in there, but many people are not also in that structure. So how do they bring balance in their emotional state of mind when they're juggling, when there's so much of expectations, what they should do? Saili?
Yeah, definitely. And as a woman, we, as a South Asian woman, there is a lot that we expect out of ourselves. Like, right? So we think that men are not capable of taking care of my child. South Asian women want to be on top of everything. Right? That is why this topic is very something I really
Close to your heart.
close to my heart. I like to talk about it. So today, as you mentioned, we have so many roles. We are daughters, we are parents, we are mothers, we are wives, we have professionals, we are counselors if anybody asks something to us. So I'm going to share with everybody 5 techniques, or you can call them tricks or perspectives that you can use and implement in your life right away, that will help create more balance in your life and lift the emotional health. First one, which is my favorite, I call it bucket activity. So you have to take 2 buckets, so not real buckets but the imaginary ones, and the first bucket is called doing bucket and the second one is called being bucket. And then you imagine the whole day as you go through and all the activities that you do. So you go to your job, you pick up your kids, you drop your kids, you cook, you clean, everything, whatever you might be doing, you have to make a list of those activities, right? And then you fill these buckets with those activities. So in doing bucket, you put everything that you do. So it could be your job, or the chores that you're doing, or you're picking, dropping your kids, your obligations, everything that you're doing goes in that bucket.
Okay.
And the being bucket is when you're being in the moment, when you're actually enjoying that moment. It could be when you're meditating, when you're going for morning walks, when you're doing things for yourself, when you're taking time to bond with people around you, with your children, everything that lifts you up. Just being in the moment. So you might not be feeling that you're getting things done, but you're actually enjoying that moment. And think about how much time you're spending in doing and how much time you're spending in being. Because we think that doing is actually being productive. We are getting things done, we are moving ahead. But if you just go to your job, you do everything that you're supposed to do, pay bills, this, that, at the end of the day, what do you think? It's just another day. So if you take time out to care for your health, to exercise, to do something to lift your spirit, that will give you more stamina, more energy and more positive attitude to actually do the things in your doing bucket. The second thing is about the people who are so bogged down by their day jobs. Like it's becoming overwhelming of them. For them, the job is expecting a lot out of them.
Yeah.
So for them, I have a perspective that I want them to have it sink inside. That the work is serving you and you are not serving your work. So you're working because you want to live your life in a way that you want to enjoy it. But most of us think that work is the priority, and because of that, everything else takes a backseat. But that backseat is the reason why you're working in the first place, right? So I like to use an example of the chicken that lays golden eggs. So if you have this chicken that lays golden eggs, what do you think is more important, the chicken or the eggs that she has laid? So the golden eggs are your job, your assets, your possessions, your obligations, the thing that you keep doing, and the chicken is you. So unless you don't take care of the chicken, the eggs are going to run out, you're going to use them up, right? And then they might disappear someday, somebody might steal them someday. But as long as the chicken is alive and healthy, she's capable of producing more golden eggs. So you have to take care of the chicken first. You have to take
Wonderful.
care of you first.
So
Wonderful. Very
Right?
true.
The third thing I want to mention is the automatic sprinkler system. So if it is like you have to, when we are stressed or when we are overwhelmed with emotions or things going on in our life, the expectations that we have, what do we end up doing? We just keep thinking, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that, and this one said this to me, and this is going on in my life and my kids and everything. We just think and we don't do anything. It's just we end up doing nothing because we are so overwhelmed by that we just stick with it. But instead of that, what I like to tell my clients is, when you're happy, when you're sane, when you're in control of yourself, make a list of things that you like to do, that makes you happy, that lifts your spirits. So you know in your life that who is capable of lifting your spirits. Like she said, her parents were always there with her, no matter the whole world was against her, the parents were there. So she knows that her parents are her key people. So put them down in the list, that okay, if I'm down, then this is what I like to do. So for some it could be listening to music, for somebody it could be just go out and serve the community, you know, because sometimes seeing somebody less fortunate than us and helping them can actually make us forget our own sorrows, right? So everything that lifts your spirit, just make a list of it. And when you know that you're very overwhelmed, you're very stressed and you're very low, you feel very small, all you have to do is turn that switch on. Just go and look at that list, so you know exactly what to do and you don't waste any time just being victimizing yourself. The fourth thing is delegation. The South Asian women try to take up the responsibilities. They think that the husband is not capable of taking care of my kids if I go the whole day.
Yeah.
It is all in our mind. Thing is, we don't feel like delegating, but delegating is not telling somebody what to do, but trusting somebody that they are able to do it. It's more of empowerment than of actually directing them, because if you tell somebody do this, they will only do it like 50 or 70%. But if you tell them that I trust you, that you are capable of doing it, and just do it, just I'm not this.
Yeah. That's
And
really
then
good.
they do it better. They actually exceed your expectations. So delegate your jobs, but with empower them, just trust them doing it. And the fifth point is do what you love, and if you cannot, then love what you do. So a lot of us have
Repeat it one more time. Let people know. Let people grasp the real
Message.
deep meaning
Uh-huh.
of what you say.
Okay, so the point is, do what you love, and if you cannot, then learn to love what you do, right? So most of us, I hear a lot of people complaining about their day jobs, that I hate that, but I have to do it. What I tell them is, take that have to word out of your dictionary. Say I want to, because you don't have to do your job. Don't go there.
They can fire you and get someone else.
Yeah, don't go there. You don't have to. But tell yourself why you're doing that, because it is paying your bill, it is supporting your family. So they say that you want to do it, right? A lot of people say, oh, I have to pick my kids now, it's time, but you don't have to. Don't go. You know, say that you want to. Say that you want to be with your kids. Say that you want to enjoy that drive to home with your kids, right?
Thank you so much, Sandy.
दोस्तों, उम्मीद है आज के एकला चलो रे के एपिसोड मेंटल हेल्थ द बैलेंसिंग एक्ट से आप जान ही गए होंगे कि जीवन में मानसिक संतुलन कितना ज़रूरी है और इस मानसिक संतुलन को बनाए रखना कितना ज़रूरी है, न केवल औरत के लिए बल्कि उसके पूरे परिवार के लिए भी। खुशी एक ऐसी चीज़ है जिसे आप खरीद नहीं सकते हैं। ये आपके अंदर होती है और इसे बाहर खोजने के बदले अपने ही अंदर टटोले तो पता चलेगा कि खुशी आप पर निर्भर करती है। कोई किसी को भी खुशी नहीं देता, बल्कि हम सब अपनी खुशी अपने अंदर ही अगर ढूंढे तो सदा खुश रह सकते हैं। जब एक औरत अपने अंदर की आशाओं और निराशाओं में संतुलन बनाए रखती है और किस हद तक अपने आप को पॉजिटिव रखने में कामयाब होती है, इसकी जानकारी हो जाने से उसे दुनिया की कोई भी ताकत खुश होने से नहीं रोक सकती। जिंदगी हम एक बार जीते हैं और अगर वो आप अपनी खुशी से नहीं जिए तो फिर क्या जिए। तू खुश है तो सब खुश है सरकार, तू उदास तो सारी कयानत है बेकार। दूर न जा उदासी में मेरे खुशगवार, तेरी खुशी में है सबकी जिंदगी बरकरार। चल आ तुझे मैं ले चलूं उस पार, जहां से तू सीख ले खुश होना मेरे यार। दोस्तों, आपने देखा पपीहा के साथ एकला चलो रे और हमारा टॉपिक था मेंटल हेल्थ द बैलेंसिंग एक्ट। अब मैं आप सभी से इजाज़त चाहूँगी। बड़ों का आशीर्वाद चाहती हूँ, छोटों का प्यार, और आप सभी अपने दुआ में मुझे ज़रूर याद रखिएगा। अगले हफ्ते इसी चैनल पर इसी वक्त फिर मुलाकात होने की उम्मीद रखते हुए आप सभी को पपीहा का प्यार भरा नमस्कार, अल्लाह हाफिज और सत श्री अकाल।
যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে, যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে। যদি কেউ কথা না কয় ওরে ওরে ও অভাগা, কেউ কথা না কয়, যদি সবাই থাকে মুখ ফিরায়ে সবাই করে ভয়, যদি সবাই থাকে মুখ ফিরায়ে সবাই করে ভয়, তবে পরাণ খুলে ও তুই মুখ ফুটে তোর মনের কথা একলা বলো রে, তবে পরাণ খুলে ও তুই মুখ ফুটে তোর মনের কথা একলা বলো রে। যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে।